Good evening and welcome to this week's Sunday Night Live. Very excited because it is the kickoff episode of 2021. And I'm honored to have my friend Thompson here from Cars on the Move. Now, the reason I wanted to start the show with transportation is because nothing happens until the car gets transported, either to the dealership or to the customer. Nothing happens. And was it Tim, right? That had that great saying. Tim says your inventory is like a block of ice on hot asphalt, which is beautiful because it's melting. And once you buy the car, you're starting to pay for it, and you need to know where that car is, right? And there's sometimes questions that don't get answered. So you might be expecting your car on Wednesday. Wednesday could come and go, no car. And then you want to call the driver to find out what happened, and you can't get a hold of the driver. In the meantime, you've made promises on cars that you expect to be there, and now you're starting to sweat a little bit, and the owner's starting to breathe down your back because where's the car? So without any further ado, I'd like to introduce Thompson, CEO of Cars on the Move. Ty, thanks for being on the show. I want you to tell everybody a little bit about you, and then we'll get right into it.
Well, I will, but I think you had something you wanted to show at the beginning of this, didn't you?
Yes. Oh my God. So I was on their show, and their show is phenomenal. So you have 4 shows per week, right?
Well, let me tee it up for you, okay?
Right.
Jay Wertzberger, he's my partner. Jay founded Auto Transport Intel, which is a YouTube show that originally started out. Jay comes from a dispatching background in trucking, car hauling. So anyway, that's a long story, and I won't tell you, bore you with the details, but Jay is now YouTube guy, and we've got, this ecosystem is what Jay likes to refer to it as, is, you've got dealers, you've got carriers, you've got OEMs, you've got used cars, auctions, transport guys, digital technology, fixed ops, all these things. So anyway, Jay started this show, and he's I've been with him from the beginning. And so, okay, this is Jay. Go ahead.
All right, so I'm going to do the screen share. I don't generally share screens, so it might be a little funny, but we're going to give it a shot. Let's see here, screen 1, share. Yeah, I love this trailer. There's a Jay right here, Jay Wertzberger. Love this trailer.
Can they hear it?
All right, let me stop. All right, I love that show. And that trailer is kick butt. It's sad to say, but I actually turn on that video just to listen to the trailer sometimes.
Wow. Well, Jay did all that. I give Jay all the credit. The guy's put in a tremendous amount of time. I mean, I think he's up to like 100 and almost maybe 80 consecutive Tuesday night shows.
Trailer is. Hold on, we have a sound issue, I'm being told. Can you guys hear? Can you guys hear anything or no? Hold on. technical glitch. Okay, they said no sound. So I think what we need to do is we need to get out of the studio and get back into the studio. So I'm going to kick you out of the studio and then come back in, and that should take care of it.
Okay.
Okay, how about now? Oh, no sound from the YouTube video. All right, I will make sure to post the list on the link on there. It says I can hear you, just can't hear the video. Man, that's too bad because that video is really, really kick-ass. So, I cannot hear the trailer, can hear you fine. All right. You know, I was not able to get that video in raw form to upload it to the platform. So we'll just wait for Ty to come back on here. Ed Roberts, good evening. Brian Cates, hello. Terry, nice to see you, man. Sergey, no sound. Yep, I will. I'll get that link posted here. I just closed that window out. So Stanley Martone, I can hear you, just can't hear the video. And Terry says I can hear you now, not the video. Michael Larkin, you're good here in West Hartford. Ed Roberts, we can hear you guys, just not the trailer. All right, yeah, little techno glitch. We find these little glitches happen every once in a while. Just waiting for Tide to come back on. Should be any minute now. First show of 2021. Man, it's hard to believe. Michael, how are you, man? Thanks for coming on. You know, a year blinked by on the show. I remember the first show I did. I wasn't really quite sure what direction it was going to go in. And then as the months went on and I had different guests on, it just kind of started to develop a personality of its own. And we've been able to cover a wide range of topics in all different areas. And that's why I figured tonight to kick off the season, having somebody on with transportation would be key, because I met Ty, probably a couple of months ago online here through, I think I had Benny Major on the show, and they saw that show and then they reached out to me and we got connected. So now I'm hooked on his Tuesday night show. It's on at 9 o'clock Eastern, Auto Transport Intel. And it's a great show. I've learned so much about the transportation business. And what I realize is that even though I've got 4 decades in the auto space, most people don't really know anything about transportation, like at all. You know, the different types of trucks there are, what they're used for, long range, short range, really no idea. Or do we have any idea as to what the processes are between the truckers and the dispatch? There's so much to it, and I've learned so much since I've been hanging out with these guys on Tuesday nights that I figured, you know, I bet you there's a lot of other people in the car business that also don't know a lot about transportation, and just the terminology, the culture. You think the car business is interesting. The hauling business is an entity all unto itself. Speaking of which, let's find out where Ty is. Ty, where are you, man? Yeah, the hauling business, it's pretty interesting. Let's see here. Mark Williamson, Shazam. Hello, everyone. Hey, Mark, how are you, man? Joe Brawler, good evening, everyone. So welcome to the show. So I don't know that much about the trucking industry. That's why I want to Ty on. He may be having some issues logging back in. But we've got a bunch of topics to cover, which hopefully he'll come on for, because he has all the answers to them. I don't. But it should be interesting. He should be on in just a moment. Everybody survived the weekend? I don't know about you guys, but I did a lot of work today and yesterday, actually. Seems never ending. Okay, where are you, Ty? Oh, here we go. Okay, how about now?
Are you there?
Yep, can you hear me?
Yeah, it's really crackly. I can't hear you.
Oh, no.
Choppy. You put me in the studio or
Yeah.
wherever, and then I somehow lost you, but yeah, I can't hear you. Do you want me to check out and come back in?
Yeah, try that again.
Sorry about that.
No problem. Sometimes we have techno glitches. Every once in a while that happens.
In there.
Okay, how about now?
No.
No?
I'll be right back. I'll try it again.
All right. Wow, techno. Or Michael Larkin says, how many parts are connected to the car business, transport, fixed ops, sale, what else? And there's a lot. I mean, you're talking from the manufacturing plant on down? There's a ton. Okay, let's try it again. Okay, how about now?
No, but we can go. I can kind of hear you enough. I mean, it's really crackly. I don't know on my end, but we'll make it through.
Yeah? All right, Mark Williamson says, Eureka, we can hear you both. Now, can you hear us both clearly, Mark?
There, you're back. I can hear you now.
Oh, perfect. All right, so sorry about that techno glitch. Every once in a while it does happen. My friend David Kokenauer told me a long time ago that technology works 70% of the time. The other 30% of the time you can pull your hair out, which is why we got to where we are now, and then just have to deal with it. I think you just deal with it. That's why you got a lot more hair.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
So why don't you tell everybody a little bit about you, your background?
Okay, my name's Ty. I'm a transport guy, and I hang out in transport parking lots. And you can find me in a transport parking lot usually about every day, and especially on Fridays. So we have Jace created this show. Wait, time out. I've been transporting for 20 years. So I started with a little 1-ton and a little 3-car trailer in Joplin, Missouri. All right. 7 years later, from when I started, I had 20 semis that haul 9 cars at a time. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah. That's in 7 years. That's a lot of cars. So
well, is the 9-car one called the Stinger?
Yes, sir. Stinger. Yeah, good job. You've been paying attention, haven't you?
Oh yeah.
You get an A+. So I didn't have technology. I didn't know what a load board was. I'm crazy, so I just go talk to people. And I've got a truck and a trailer, and do you have cars you need moved? No, go away. So anyway, over 20 years, let me explain real quick. I don't have any trucks right now. I don't have any trailers. I don't have any cars to move. All I do is YouTube, consult, and coach. They call me the carrier relations guy, right? So if you want to get into car hauling, you call and you talk to Ty. Ty will tell you all the things you need to know on how to haul cars. Am I selling something? No. I'm really passionate about this business, and I'm trying to help carriers understand a couple of things. Primarily one, just like Paul said, this car is a block of ice and it's melting. And the quicker you understand that as a car hauler guy, which by the way, I wear my super trucker shirt. You like that?
I like it.
It's got the snaps, that's what super trucker snaps. Anyway, so after 20 years of doing this, I still am learning something new every day. Jay and I learn something new all the time, and we love it. But the one thing that I figured out early on is if I can get the dealer his cars from the auction back to him, I win every time. They refer me to people. They give me more business. Now I start taking cars to the auction, now back. So, okay, that's 20 years ago. So here we are, 2021, new year. Paul's saying, man, nothing happens without transportation. And I think there's a lot of truth to that. So I watched Paul's show, and I'm at Fixed Ops, right, Paul?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, we cover everything, but I'm part of a fixed ops group, a large fixed ops group.
Okay. So Jay talks a lot about what we call the front end, right? So you've got dealers that sell cars and even buy cars now. See, things are changing really fast. I mean, really, really fast. And it's fun to be where we're at, because a guy like me is typically set in his ways and I don't want to change. I'm happy with the way I did business. Okay. My dealer buddy calls me on the phone at 11 o'clock at night and wants to make sure that I got that one car loaded and it'll be there tomorrow morning before 10. Right? That's how Ty operates in the past. Things are changing. Now, I'm in the Midwest, so I only know a little bit. I don't know everything. And as this YouTube channel grows, as we start talking to carriers and we start talking to dealers and we start talking to fixed op guys, and we start bringing all these guys in and we start seeing things are changing. Guys don't go to the big auctions anymore. Okay, what are the big auctions? Mannheim, Odessa, right? Those are the big ones. Those are the guys with all the cars, with all the contracts, with all the numbers. Well, they don't have auctions anymore. Mannheim might have 12. I haven't heard the latest on Odessa. So now dealers are put in a position where they have to buy the cars online on the internet. And if you're a carrier guy, the transport guy, and you don't have an existing relationship with a dealer, right? Oh, by the way, when I talk about, Jay talks about the front end, and I'm the back end. I'm the guy that rolls around in the asphalt. I'm the guy that's always chasing cars. I'm moving a bunch of volume. I'm a volume guy, right? That's what I do. On the front end of things, dealerships, especially, Carvana, everybody always talks about Carvana and how great they are and what they're doing different. Maybe they're setting the standard. Maybe they're creating a narrative. I don't know. I do know they're in transportation and they're in it big. And there's a reason. The reason is because the carrier sucks, right? And I'm the only guy that'll tell you that, because I'm being honest with you. The carrier for years sucks. Hey, Ty, when is my car going to be there? Tomorrow by noon. 2 days later, that doesn't fly, right? I mean, I learned real early on, if you want to have a great relationship, a great account with a dealer, say what you're going to do and do what you say you're going to do, right?
Pretty straightforward.
Pretty straight, pretty basic. And if you see any variance in between of, I told you that I'd be there tomorrow at noon, I might be a minute late. As soon as you even have that thought, the best thing you can do for your dealer, for your business, for your relationship is let somebody know, whether that's a text or a call. Because there's a reason dealers want their cars. There you go.
Yeah, no, it's they're okay if you show up a little early, but you can't show up late. But if you call, everybody can understand that.
Yeah, absolutely. And dealers understand things happen, right? But where it starts falling apart, what I've seen over 20 years is you've got shady carriers, transport guys, shady, right? You've got guys. Yeah, just like all business. Okay. There's plenty of shady dealers. I've had plenty of dealers shaft me a lot of money, right? That doesn't mean dealers are bad. And that's why you'll hear me occasionally, man, love the car dealer. Love the car dealer. Why do I say that? Because, okay, I come from a small town in Missouri, Joplin, right? It's down there in the corner. I can throw a rock. I can hit Oklahoma. I can hit Kansas and Arkansas with one rock, right? So I'm right there. For years, I wondered, where do these cars go? I'm bringing cars in every week, every day to this, 50,000 population, hauling cars in like crazy. I mean, nuts. Where do they go? Never figured it out. I don't need to know. All I need to know is a vendor, right? And by the way, this is where I really like getting to know Paul and what Paul's doing, because Paul's created, and I think everybody's aware of it, this dealervendormatch.com, right? So I get called. This is where Paul and Ty intersect. This is really cool too. So Paul's got this incredible technology that's going to allow dealers to communicate with vendors. And as Paul and I get to talking to each other and kind of figuring things out, I'm starting to see, wow, this is really cool for carriers. So I talk to a lot of new carriers on a regular basis, daily, hourly, a lot, right? You know what I always say? Two things, real simple. If you want to get in this car hauling business, here's something you need to understand. You need to be able to, on a minimum, live 6 months without a check. That's number one. Car hauling consumes lots of cash, right? Just fuel alone. Forget about insurance. That's, a couple of $2,000 to $4,000 a month for one truck and one trailer. Forget that.
A month?
A month. That's if you're lucky.
Wow.
That doesn't include the $10,000 down payment, so that doesn't include your, depending on what truck you get. So, we can talk about equipment. I love equipment, but why are these guys getting in these 1-tons and putting 3-car trailers behind? I get it. Why are they doing that? Well, because if this thing doesn't work out, I can justify having a truck and a truck payment. It's like a car and a car payment. So that's setting, and I call that today, I didn't call it back then when I did it, but now I call that setting yourself up for failure. Right?
That's true.
Okay. So large amounts of cash are needed before you get in this business. At the best day, you might get paid in 15 days. That's if things go well, right? So you're going to need cash, a lot of cash. What's number 2? Number 2 is, I always ask, real simple, who is your customer, right? You want to be a car hauler? Yeah. Drive up and down the road? Yeah. Well, who's your customer? So the answer that I get today is a load board. And I think we all know Manheim Cox. Manheim Cox has a load board called Central Dispatch. Has everybody heard of Central Dispatch?
Yeah, but go into details about it, because I'm sure a lot of these people here don't know about it.
Okay, so Central Dispatch is what we call a load board for supposedly car carriers. Now, we have to be real careful what we say and how we talk about this load board, because when I first, so I'm up to 20 trucks I'm rolling, I'm cranking out $1 per mile, I'm short mile, here's Ty, watch. Short mile, long dollar. Short mile, long dollar. Remember that. In trucking, the short mile makes you the money, right? The dealer's happy to pay $150, $200 a car for a 100-mile run. I just made a lot of money on that. Thank you. I'm happy. And you're happy because I got it to you quick, right? All right. So Central Dispatch is a load board. So today, because nobody wants to talk to anybody, we've got this cool technology where I can be in Kansas City, Missouri, and you can be where, Paul?
Niantic,
Connecticut. And here we are. And there are people watching. And that's pretty amazing technology, right? But we are talking. So yeah. If I'm a vendor and I want to go to a dealer and I want my customer to be a dealer, not because I want to haul cars, right? If you're going to talk to me, I'm going to recommend you go talk to a dealer. Well, I tried, Ty, and they told me to leave. They've already got a carrier. Did you get their carrier's name and number? Do you know who they're dealing with? Because if they're a big dealership and they're doing large volume, if they already have a carrier, I'm sure that person can use your help, right? So if you're a small guy and you're in this, you got your 1-ton and your 3-car trailer, and you don't have the ability to go maybe say, talk to people, here's where Paul comes in. This is cool. Paul has this technology that, okay, I'm afraid to go talk to a car dealer because I don't like rejection, which I get it. I mean, I've been rejected plenty of times in my life, but I still go talk to car dealers. Car dealers, I've said this for a long time, man, and I believe it with all my heart. Car dealers are heavily invested in the local community, their community, right? Maybe that's old, maybe that's changed, I don't know, but that's how I was raised. You go to any of the car dealerships where I come from, and they are heavily invested in the local community. They're doing the ball games, the basketball games, the college.
Yep, they all do that.
Yeah. So I'm a huge fan of the dealer, and I always promote the dealer. So if you're a carrier, who's your customer? The answer should be a dealer. Well, that's changing. So I have to change. And this is where Jay on YouTube, Auto Transport Intel, and Ty, here's where we come together. Jay comes from the load board side. Ty comes from go talk to the car dealer and tell him you want to move his cars.
There's Jay. He just popped in.
Hey, that's awesome. So if you, hey, do we need to pause and go through your deal there? See if any questions or comments. Are we okay?
No, I've been checking. We're good. We're good. They're absorbing the information because a lot of this is new. This is not typical car business stuff. That's why I wanted to bring you on, because this is the type of stuff that nobody knows.
Well, and here, I've got this story. I've been thinking, when you invited me on, I started thinking, why am I coming on here? I'm not really selling anything, right? I don't have this cool magic wand. Here, bang, there your cars are, yay. What am I doing here? We're educating the ecosystem. And that's what I get excited about that. I'm not a teacher. I don't have patience for that, but I do get excited about saving people's lives, because I can assure you, I've heard story after, and I've experienced it firsthand. I mean, the car hauling business can destroy you that quick. That's it. I'm driving down the road. Something's not right. I got a load of cars on. I'm, kind of pull over a little bit. All of a sudden, everything shuts off. I jump out. I pop open the hood, and guess what? There's a big fire. And the fire goes straight up to the car above the hood, right? And it catches the car on fire, and it jumps to the next car. I'm standing there watching 9 cars go up in flames.
Oh, my God.
So there are plenty of those stories. There's plenty of stories. Jay has this great one. He calls it the flip of the week, right?
I've seen that, yes.
You've seen
I like the pictures. Yeah, the truck on its side.
Yeah. You don't want to be the flip of the week, guys. That's what we try to encourage people. Don't be the flip of the week. So the point is that in car hauling is there's nothing easy about it. And you'll always hear me say that. Don't even think as a dealer, as a carrier, as a new guy, as an old guy. There's nothing easy about hauling cars. And I can take you through it all the way, and I'll show you, right? It's not easy. So what stuff
happens. Stuff pops up, right? Like that what was that, frozen lift on last Tuesday?
Stuff freezes, hydraulic lines breaks. But here's where it gets bad, because the carrier starts using these things as excuses because they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing. Okay. And you can only use the truck broke so many times. So now do we need to help you get new equipment, or do you need to stop lying? Or why are you lying? Right?
It's easier to stop lying, but for some reason.
Just to stop lying, right? So Jay's created this platform, and we've been able to grow it. Jay's grown it, over 10,000 subs, starting to get a lot of views and starting to reach out to different communities. So as a carrier, there's the thing that I figured out, Paul. Here's the story, the cool story. There's a dealership in Joplin, Missouri, Roper. Hal Roper, the original founder. His son, Randy Roper. So they had Roper Pontiac, Buick, GMC. They had Roper Honda, Roper Kia, Roper Subaru. So they've got all these stores in little Joplin, Missouri. And so Randy, the son, he would go to the auction and buy 30, 40 cars. Ty, go get them. Yes, sir. So he would buy 30, 40 cars. I would have them delivered next day, and I would always bump into the service manager, Jim. Jim was a nice guy, always easygoing. See him, hey, Jim, hi, great. So I'm dropping these cars off. One day, Jim doesn't look too happy. I'm like, hey, Jim, you don't look too happy today. What's the problem? Giving him the keys, what's wrong? Oh, beep. Do you got the beep in there? Beep. Whenever you say a bad word, beep, beep.
The car business, there are no bad words.
Yeah. So he's upset because Randy didn't call and tell him he was going to the auction to buy 40 cars, right? So I'm thinking, first I thought he was mad at me because I didn't get the cars there on time, which I did because I told Randy I would have them there. So here's all these cars dumped on him. And I'm thinking, man, talk about a rock star car hauler. I just scored huge points, man. Delivered 40 cars in less than 12 hours. That's pretty impressive. Boom.
I would say.
So I'm like, Jim, what seems to be the problem? I got the cars to you on time. No, Ty, that's not the problem. Well, what are you upset about? You seem upset today, Jim. Well, I really don't like it when Randy goes to the auction and buys 40 cars and doesn't tell me. It really messes up my day. Now, I could have just walked off. Not my problem. I don't care, right? But I was like, this intrigues me. Why would that upset you? Why are you upset, Jim? You see this service department? You see all these bays? They're full. My job is to keep the service department full of cash paying customers, right? And it's full. And now I have to somehow rearrange my entire schedule to get those 40 cars that your smart ass brought here in less than 12 hours because you think you're super cool. And now guess who's going to be riding my back? Randy, that went and bought the cars, right?
Even though he started the problem.
He started the problem. So I figured out pretty early on, just by paying a little bit of attention, I know how to help Jim. So guess who my new best friend is? Jim. So when I trained Randy, the dealer. Okay, what we're talking about is communication. Communication's a beautiful thing, right?
It's key in everything.
So I explained to Randy, it took about a year or so. Randy, if you just give me a heads up, a text, a quick call, hey, Ty, I'm going to the auction. I will get your cars home like that. Right. That's what I tell him. So once he finally figured that out, if he calls Ty, he'll get his cars a lot faster. If he calls Ty in advance, right? Ty, I might buy a load. I might buy 10 loads. Hey, that's all I need, buddy. I'm on it. Okay. So what I decided to do after I got Randy trained was I decided to start bringing Jim in on it. So Randy, owner, goes to the auction, buys cars, forgets to tell his service manager that he's going to have 40 cars in the parking lot tomorrow. I call Jim or shoot Jim a text prior to dumping a bunch of cars on him, right? So he's very appreciative, takes a little bit of stress off of him. Now he knows what he's going to have to deal with. So anyway, just little bitty things like that, I start seeing and putting them together.
It's a relationship building.
It's relationship building. So Jim's always been my best friend now, and now I go to the next dealership and I start talking to the service manager. So when I go to a dealership, okay, so back up. Whoa. I put dealership. So when I'm talking to a guy who wants to be a car hauler, here's what I tell him. I said, I've put dealers in 5 categories, right? There may be more, there may be less, and there may be duplicates, but here they are. Ready? You have a new car store with a used car lot. That's 1. 2, you have just a used car lot. Ty's used cars, Paul's used cars, mom and pop, right? 3, I like this one. It's buy here, pay here. It's actually my favorite. I love buy here, pay here because you get to move the same car about 100 times and you get paid. And they have what we call recon centers or ICs, right? So
yeah.
This is a transport guy's wet dream. You get to go to the auction, pick up the cars. You get to bring them to the recon center, drop them off. Hey, Ty, where are you going? Wherever you want, buddy. I'll go anywhere. Well, great. I've got 9 cars sitting here that need to go to our store across town or the next town over, right? Either across town or a couple towns away. Will you take them, Ty? Heck yeah. So I take the cars that are ready to go from the recon. I take them to the other store, drop them off. Thanks, guys. Have a great day. Hey, Ty, where are you going? Wherever you want. Well, I've got 9 repos out back. Would you mind taking them back to the recon? Absolutely, right? So your dollar per mile just keeps getting better and better. And you're moving the same cars lots of times. 1, new car store with a used car lot. 2, used car lot. 3, buy here, pay here. 4, now I love this one, wholesale. Wholesale has always been my favorite. The reason, well, second favorite. Buy here, pay here first. Anyway, I love wholesales because they always needed a discount, but they know everybody. So I figured out early on, you know what you can do with these wholesale guys? You can make a deal. I'll give you the discounted rate because I know you got a thin margin. I would never want to be a wholesaler. I've always thought wholesale guys are like brilliant, genius Rain Man kind of guys. I mean, how do they do this stuff, right? They go buy a car at one auction. I take it to a 100-mile away auction. They sell it and make money. I don't know.
What a concept.
I tried it. It didn't work. So anyway, new car store, used car lot, buy here, pay here, wholesaler. Wholesalers, good to know because they know everybody, right? They've got a reputation. They've got a name. So wholesalers, I can say, I'll give you the discount in exchange for referrals. Oh, man, who do you want to know? Boom, 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 boom. Hey, dropping names like crazy for $10 a car. I'll take all the names you give me, right? Okay. Last but least is rental fleet. All right. So there's your 5. New car store, used car lot, independent. Buy here, pay here. Buy here, pay here. Wholesale, fleet and rental. How does that sound? Is that close? Am I missing?
You know more than me, so I'll go with it.
Okay, so there's your 5. Now, what I try to steer guys towards and to is used cars. Why? Well, there were 40 million sold in 2019? Somewhere close to 40. How many new cars were sold? 17, 18 million-ish? So somebody told me a long time ago, I thought it was really cool. They said, if you want to live with the classes, sell to the masses. So I've always been a mass guy. I'm a volume guy. I like to do a lot of volume. Move 180 cars like that. Go, go, go. Okay, so used cars. So if I'm a dealer at any one of those 5 I just talked about, where do you get your used cars? If you're a dealer,
Auction, online auction, off the street, but mostly at auction. And I think I'm going to guess mostly online auction today.
There you go. So what I'm seeing, which is really interesting, because if you're a new car store with a used car lot, what kind of used cars are you putting on your lot? Late model, low mile, primarily, if you can get your hands on them.
Right.
Okay, so where do we get late model, low mile? And this online thing, by the way, isn't new.
No, it's been around forever.
It's been around a while. I remember I got stories. Never mind. Anyway, the new car store guys with the used car lots are buying late model, low miles. Okay. You can buy those things all day long sitting at your desk at your office. It's pretty easy, even if you got a crappy condition report.
A lot of money.
You're going to pay the money, right? But do you really need to go to the auction and see that car?
Not today.
No, you don't.
Let me just get caught up on a couple of comments here. All right, so Jay says Ty is connecting dealers and carriers. You won't find that anywhere else. Now, what I love about you guys is there've always been silos. There've been the dealers, there've been the haulers, body shops. None of that stuff is really connected, right? Now, you guys are building one hell of a community online. I swear to God, one hell of a community. You got over 10,000 followers on the YouTube channel, and you're reaching out to people. You are becoming a name, a known entity to dealers in the transport world. So if anybody out there does not know Ty or is not connected to Ty, I suggest the first thing you do on LinkedIn is send Ty and Jay connection requests. That's number one. Because these are your guys, this is your source to the hauler world. Okay? These are the guys that do it every day. These are the guys you ordinarily would not meet. So now you can put a name with the face, with the voice. All right? So that's first and foremost, because as more and more cars are being bought at auctions, you know, you're not going there, you're not meeting people. You got to make connections. And what better way to build a community than through trusted sources, people that you know. So when you need that kind of work, now you have a guy, a couple of guys. So Atul says, hi. Jay says, kudos for Paul for helping us communicate. No, kudos to you guys, man. I appreciate, you know, when you guys reach out, I'm like, yeah, I like these guys. So now I'm hooked on your Tuesday night show, and I caught an episode of the Friday show. I'm afraid to look at the other shows because that means more time I'm going to spend watching those shows. They're just great shows. Atul says, auction and trade-ins and factory sale. Now,
trade-ins, factory sale.
And I learned a term also on your show, POV.
Right, POV. What do you call that, Paul?
Private owned vehicle.
There you go. Personally private owned vehicle, POV.
Yeah. So that's a lot more common now too, right?
I think it is, and that's where, you know, Jay and I are reaching out. It's a big part. It's a big part of transportation, right? And even if you're a dealer, right? I always try to stay with the dealer, stay on the dealer. But if you're an individual and you're getting a car moved, just my personal opinion, your chances of getting hosed are dramatically increased. I mean, you're probably going to get shanked or shafted a lot in that world. That's a racket over there. Okay, so I get calls.
I got a story for that too.
You did what?
I got a story that I'm going to say after you say what you say.
No, I know your story. Go ahead and share it. And then I can pile on top of it. I kind of know. I'm sorry.
Here's the great thing about knowing people in the business that are reputable. Because not everybody, just like in the car business, just like doctors, just like accountants, just like lawyers, just like in every business, there are shysters. So it's important to know the right guys, all right? So the guy you see on the screen right there, remember that face, because that's the guy you need to contact for all your transportation needs. And the reason being is that shady stuff does happen, all right? I had a situation one time where I was shipping a car to Texas. And somehow that car ended up in Massachusetts in a hurricane. The hurricane totaled that car. Like, you know, I don't know why you brought it to Massachusetts, and I don't know the hauling game, so I realize cars have to go to places because you got to fill the load as you're going, right? You always have to have cars on your truck, or you're losing money. You cannot have an open car for anything. That's just wasted time, wasted money, and you can't afford it because the margins are too tight. So the car, so they bring this totally trashed car. I mean, windows all busted out, dents throughout from the hail storms and everything. I mean, this thing is like trash. Practically total loss. I don't know what ended up happening to it, but drops it off. The guy said, I'm not paying it. And the guy said, well, I'm not dropping the car. So I said, well, just go to the back of the car, take a picture of the truck, and just put the guy on the phone. I'll explain to him the benefits of him dropping the car off and leaving it with you and just going away. So I had a short conversation with the guy. I guess the guy calls me back. He said, I don't know what you told that guy, but he dropped the car right away and he left. It was just like that. That one ended up okay. Well, other than the car was trash part. But another story, we had a friend who brought up, they go to Florida, they're snowbirds, and their car was being brought back. So she had to meet the transporter at nighttime. And when she gets there, I want another $250 or I'm not taking this car off the truck.
Ooh.
What? Oh, and oh, by the way, cash. Nobody carries cash. So she went with the guy to the ATM machine to take out $250 cash and paid it to him. I said, why didn't you call me? Well, it was late at night. I don't care when it was. You could call me 24/7. We're friends like that. And I extend that courtesy to you guys. If you have a question, anything I can help you with, I don't care if it's 2 in the morning, 4 in the morning. If I'm awake, I'll answer the call. So she paid the guy $250. He dropped the car and left. So it's important to know good guys like this guy sitting next to me right here. All right. So go ahead and tell me what you're going to back it up with.
Well, I can't. Here's the beautiful part. I definitely don't know everything, but I do know when you get here. Let's back up a little bit. If you want to be in the transport business, okay, what do you need? A truck and a trailer? Insurance? Okay, we'll just go with that. The next thing you need is what we call in the transportation world your authority, right? Your DOT. You guys hear DOT, you guys hear FMSCA, Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration, those guys. Okay.
Yeah.
Just to get set up for that is about $1,000. No big deal, right? $1,000. All right. But once you get set up, now you've got to follow a lot of rules. So I don't want to get political, but I will tell you transportation is heavily, heavily regulated. Big. Okay. They have these things called weigh stations, right? Where you just pull in and we're just going to check your weight and make sure you're okay. That's a lie. Okay. They're doing more than that. And it's a money grab, right? So again, I don't want to get political, but I do want you to understand as a dealer or even as an individual, a guy who's getting into transportation is already guilty. Okay. And I'm not saying that like he's guilty, but man, have you seen the book that you're supposed to know just to drive down the road? It's a handbook and it's huge. And I've had it and I still don't know it. So this is where Jay comes in. Jay's, again, incredible platform. We know a guy, and this is what this is why I like what we do, because you guys know what I'm about to say. I suck at rules. I'm the worst rule follower you'll meet, and especially in trucking, right? As long as I'm not tired, I'm driving. Why do I need the government to tell me how and when I can and cannot drive?
How many hours and all that stuff.
Right, yeah. So there's this whole hours and there's all kinds of rules, lots of rules. Can't weigh this much, can't do that, be careful with that, don't do that. A lot of can'ts. So I'm not the can't guy, I'm the can guy. You can go kick the can while I go haul cars. So Jay's done a great job by setting this platform up. So we've got a guy, his name is Brian. I call him Brian Compliance. This guy is an incredible asset. I mean, he knows the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration handbook, rule book, like a walking encyclopedia. I mean, the dude knows it in and out. So
was he the Brian that was on last week?
Yeah.
Tonight with us?
Yeah, with us. Yeah.
Yeah, that guy knows a lot of shit.
That guy's sharp. So I don't know those rules. I don't want to know those rules, but I'd be happy to pay Brian to keep me in the lines. Okay. So then that's the way I built my business. I'm not good at that. I'm really honestly, I'm not even good at driving. I'll tell you what I'm good at is relationships, right? I'm really good at relationship. Semis, get this. I've owned a lot of semis. You know what? They scare the heck out of me. That's a lot of 80,000 pounds running 70 miles down the road, 70 miles per hour down the road. That can do a lot of damage. Okay. That's spooky. I've driven, I've done it all, but I'm telling you, I have a lot of respect for equipment and cars, right? So anyway, to get in the transport business, you need cash. To get in the transport business, you need to know who your customer is. To stay in the transport business, you got to follow a lot of rules. Well, I know what I'm good at, and I'm not good at that. So Jay brings on this Brian Riker, Mr. DOT. Okay. He is our compliance guy. And so what's happening, this is really cool. And Jay and I, we don't talk that much, but when we do talk, it's fun because we're seeing things being put together that we didn't say, hey, let's put this together, just like this right here.
It evolves, yeah.
It evolves, it grows. So Jay's taken this platform and he's expanded it. And he's expanded it to DOT. It's part of what we do. We got to talk about it, whether we like it or not. So we're talking.
The elephant in the room, you got to deal with it.
Right. And so Wednesday, Jay has Brian DOT for 30 minutes or an hour. And that's all they do is discuss the rules. Okay. Then we move into Thursday. And this is where it gets really real. Okay. Thursday at noon is Dispatching Live. All right. You watch that show as a dealer. I challenge any dealer in this audience, watch that show 30 minutes.
Thursday at noon.
Thursday at noon. The reason I want dealers to watch that is because this is where you get a better understanding of what the carrier, the guy that you're yelling at, wanting, where's my effing car? That guy? Okay. This is where Thursday you'll get to see why it's such a train wreck.
Oh man, I know what I'm doing Thursday.
It is.
I don't know if I should curse you or shake your hand, man.
Shake my hand, because it really exposes the lack of communication, the lack of understanding, and I say it's my favorite show. I've never done Thursday. Okay. I've never been on a load board. I don't wait on a load board to get me cars. I don't need a dispatcher. I can do it my own. Okay. That's Ty. A lot of guys just want to drive their truck and F the man, right?
The load board, is that kind of like the hub where everybody from all over matches up loads? So you might take, from this hub to that hub, and then when you get here, there's X amount waiting for you to go to the next place and so on. And it's like a big interchange, or how is that a good way to put it?
It's just an absolute mess. And here's why. Okay, so this is Ty's opinion. Okay, this isn't fact. It's a mess because you have dealers playing in the transportation world. That's our playground, right? So you got a dealer who bought a car or sold a car. Hey, Ty, I got a car, I sold it. It's going to Washington State. I don't go to Washington State. Well, can you move it for me? Well, I am a broker. What am I going to do? I know anybody that goes that way? No. What am I going to do? As a carrier or a broker, as a broker, I'm going to post it on the load board, central dispatch.
Yeah.
Okay.
People bid on it, right?
No bidding. I set the price.
Okay.
Okay. That's where, to me, it gets even worse. But I'll be honest. I've been a broker for 20 years. If you're willing to take the car for 25 cents a mile and I sold it to Paul, I'll move it for you for $1 a mile. If you want to have Bill over here haul it for 25 cents and he's happy about it, I just made 75 cents a mile. Is that my fault? Is that my problem? Not really. Now, I don't do that, but I could, and there are plenty of brokers that do shaft the carrier, right? So you've got a carrier who doesn't know his numbers. Anybody in this audience understands the importance of knowing your numbers, right? So as a dealer, as a fixed ops, You know, I keep
Critical.
thinking about Ed Roberts and what he's doing with that mobile service. I bet
Yeah.
Ed knows what his costs are. Right?
Oh yeah, to the penny probably.
Exactly. So if you're going to be a car hauler, there are a lot of variable expenses, a lot of unexpected expenses. Things happen. We're trucking, we're running down the road, the wheel falls off and flies out in the field and you can't find it. Now you got to go get a whole new axle, right? My point is yeah.
And that's stupid money on those trucks too. That's not a $200 repair.
Well, a one tire on the front of a semi today, right now, is on a good day, $600, one tire. So you got to say a 300-gallon tank, right? Let's just call it a 200-gallon tank. And fuel's $3 a gallon. Yeah, and by the way, my fleet average, so get this, you'll like this one, Paul. My fleet average with 20 trucks, do you know what my mile per gallon was? Take it.
I wouldn't even be able to guess. 2?
Well, wait, but 4.5.
4.5.
I make it
not that far off.
4.5 miles for 1 gallon of diesel fuel.
Man, that's crazy.
That's empty and loaded, right? And that's pretty fair average. You might get
empty.
Empty and loaded. Doesn't matter. 4.5. So there's a lot of costs, a lot of expense. So back to Auto Transport Intel, this platform. Okay, so we're reaching out to primarily carriers. What we're trying to do, and this is kind of new, kind of secret, but we're basically building a credentialing system, right? Because I don't know if that guy's good or bad that shows up at 11 o'clock and demands another $250 cash. Right? I don't know that guy, but can we do things that might maybe weed guys like that out? Yeah, we can. And we know how, right? I've been doing this a long time. I can tell you, there's a couple clues I could tell you real quick about this character. Give me a call. Tell me what kind of truck he's driving. Tell me what kind of trailer he's got. Tell me what he looks like. And I can tell you real quick, he's a shady bastard. Get rid of him. Right? I mean, I know these guys. There's nothing wrong. This is a dirty job. We do get dirty, but come on, man. Wipe the face. Get the tobacco out of your teeth. Come on. Really? This is a customer. So we've got ATI. We're back to this load board. So dealers, what's happening now? Okay. And this is really tricky for me. And this is why I like coming to places that I don't normally go right here. Because I want to learn, if you're a dealer or if you're in the service, you're the service manager. How does it work? Tell me how it works. Where are you getting your used car inventory? Okay, quick story. I get a phone call this last week. Hey, Ty, how's it going? Great. Hey, I'm in California, Jose. Jose is the inventory manager of a Toyota store. And the owner of this store, they own 40 stores over in LA, California. You following me? All right. He calls me because he wants to get into the transport business. Wow, this is going to be a good phone call. I'm really excited, right? The reason I'm excited is because he has all the answers. He knows where he gets his used cars. Okay, Jose, where do you get your cars? Off the street. What? How many used cars do you guys sell a month? 175, 200? You're telling me right now on the phone that you buy 175, 200 used cars a month off the street? Yeah, every month. We've been doing it since 2012, Ty. Okay, I didn't know that. I don't know how to deal with that. What is that?
Most don't. I can promise you most don't.
I'm like, that can't be true. So, I mean, I spend a lot of time with this guy because he wants to get into transportation. He wants to be a car hauler. He wants to make a little side hustle, right? I'm like, dude, wait, I can't get past. You sure you don't have somebody in your organization that goes to an auction? Nope. Okay. So this guy, Jose, so I tell Jay about this. I'm like lit up. I'm on fire. I can't believe this guy doesn't have anybody in 40 stores that buys cars at auctions. Are you kidding me? No. So I tell Jay gets a hold of this guy. We're going to have a whole show with this guy and Black Book, Paul Machine, because we've got to know every aspect. And if you can tell, this is not traditional for Ty, but somehow Ty seems to be excited about this conversation. Why? I'm learning, right? I'm learning. I get to see something I haven't seen. I want to know, how does this work? I really want to know. I only live in the Midwest. I only go 200-300 miles. That's Ty's, man, I kill it right there, right? You get me out of 300 miles, we got a problem. I'm lost and I can't drive that far. I hate driving. So anyway, where I'm going is I'm saying back to this load board. So what we're seeing, I call it the shotgun. It's the shotgun approach. I can't go to the auction. I can't buy cars like I used to. Sky Hallman, okay? Put a plug in for Sky Hallman, okay? He's got this new technology. I just totally went blank. Do you remember what it is, Paul?
The tracking software?
No, his is the one that has all the auctions. Yeah, well, yeah, you track your inventory, but it has all the online auctions, what days, how many, all the info. Anyway, I'll remember it in a minute. So you've got dealers that traditionally, man, I used to go to the auction. I can't go anymore, but I need cars. So I'm going to buy cars. Well, where do you get it? How do you do it? Well, I just go online. Okay, well, do you buy 20 cars at one spot? No, I don't do that anymore. Well, how do you do it? Well, they're everywhere. Okay, so here we go. Block of ice. I want to know at the dealership, the new car store with the used car lot, I want to know where you're getting your cars and how long does it take them to get back. I mean, we had Tim Scoutelas on here the other night. Max Digital, that guy.
Yep, he's the ice block guy.
He's the ice block guy, right? I always used to say, man, it's interest. Okay, well, we're having this conversation. I've heard anywhere from $25 to $50 a day per car.
$50. So
$50.
That's average.
Average $50 a day per
carrying
car.
Cost.
To me, that's a lot of money, and that's a good reason for a dealer to call me and rip me a new one why his cars aren't there. That adds up fast, right? So as a carrier guy, I've got to have some kind of, I found this out one time. This really blew my mind. I'm talking to the dealer. I'm like, man, you're always ripping me a new one. You need your car so fast. Tell me what's going on. Well, where do you want to start? My electric bill that's $12,000 a month? Did he just say that? Is that real?
Sounds like he needs some solar. I got a connection.
Even if it's not real, cut it in half. Right? That's still a lot of money. I mean, so as the carrier relations guy, I'm trying to help car haulers understand a couple of things. Car dealers want their cars. They don't want BS. They don't want excuses. They don't need it. They don't care. Right. And that's fine. That's why you're here. So one of the cool parts is I'm not the carrier anymore. So I can tell dealers, hey, dealer, you want to know some of the reasons that things slow down? Yeah, tell me. When was the last time you went to an auction and tried to pull out 30 cars? Have you done that job before? No. Okay, well, just go try to pull out 2 and let me know how it works.
Right.
Takes about an hour, right? If you're lucky. Or now you can pay somebody to do it. That's $10. Who's eating that cost, right? So what I always did was I always had all my cars pulled up, and I made it real clear to all my drivers. Your cars are pulled. I paid the bill. If you're there for more than 1 hour, you're fired. Why? Ty, you're such an asshole and you're angry all the time. Well, because my dealer, my customer that's paying me to pay you, right? They want the cars. Let's go.
Time is money.
Time is money. So back to this load board thing. This load board thing is I don't know, call it Wild West. There's no accountability. There's really not a lot of transparency, and it's shady, right? Anybody in here that's bought a car and that's used Central Dispatch understands. Jay does. That's why I say watch his Thursday show. Literally, he's got a Yahtzee cup with Yahtzee dice in it, and you're shaking it and you're rolling it on the table.
Oh my God.
Where are we going today? And that's what Central Dispatch is. Okay, so it's a load board where dealers and brokers, okay, that's the trick. It's supposed to be dealers and brokers only posting loads, okay? That gets into federal. Well, I don't know why a dealer gets to post on there, but he does. Maybe because it's his cars. I don't know. Some kind of a loophole that allows the dealer to post cars on central dispatch. It is what it is. It's not
So
changed.
they put cars out that they need hauled. They put that, the dealer puts that on central dispatch.
Yeah. Okay. So this is where things start falling apart. And this is why I say, just watch Thursday's show for 15 minutes. You don't have to watch.
I'm in for the whole show.
What happens is the dealer bought 3 cars in 3 different states. Okay. Now I need to get them home. All right. You can buy those cars on Mannheim online, Odessa online. So when you're done buying, and if there's a dealer in the crowd here, I want to know the answer. When you're done buying 1 car or 100 cars on Mannheim or Odessa, and they're not in your, what I call your lane, right? See, I'm a believer. I think everybody has a lane. For years, I've watched the same dealers go to the same auctions all the time. They might skip this one this week and go to this one, but they're all, and then this is where it gets even more crazy. Get out the map, get out your computer, get some pins, and start pinning where every auction is. And you'll see real quick, they're all like within 300 miles, most of them, right? They bounce. It's really crazy. This is the Mannheim and the Odessa I'm talking about. You buy cars online. You're done buying your cars. How are you going to get them home, and how much does it cost? I don't know. I didn't think about that, Ty. What? $800 to get the 1 car from there to there? I already paid too much for it. Not my problem.
Wait till I get hit with the recon.
Yeah. Wait till you get the crappy condition report that somebody generated, right? Now you've got even more, but we can go there another day. But now you got more problems because nobody saw the car. The condition report was crap. And now it's 500 miles down the road. I paid too much for transportation. How are we going to fix this problem? You see, that happens a lot. That's why I love build a lane. I mean, I make plenty of mistakes. I've taken whole 9-car loads to the wrong state. I've done it.
Oh my God. And I thought it was bad when I swapped in a car with the wrong convertible top color. That's nothing compared to that.
Yeah, the whole load. I get the phone call, somebody's mad. I get another phone call, somebody else is mad. What am I going to do? I'm going to fix it. Why and how? Because I have a lane. I've got another truck that's going to be through there in about an hour. Oh, is that good? What? Yeah, be there in about an hour. I'll have them loaded. We'll have no cost, no worries. Sorry for the problem. What? Yeah, that's because I have a lane. That's because I know people. That's because people tend to do the same thing. We have car dealers on that will tell us dealers are lazy. I capitalize off of dealers' laziness. I'm not trying to be funny about it. I'm just saying,
Nope.
If I'm good at what I do, that dealer will let me do it. Right? If I'm good at what I do, the dealer will let me do it. And he'll happily pay me to do the job that he doesn't want to do. Because he's better at something else.
Because this is what you do, right? Now Jay put in the different shows at the different times. So I tell you guys, watch these shows. They're they're educational and they're fun. And I've made a lot of connections on the show. I actually had a transporter watch when you guys had me on for Dealer Vendor Match. I had a transporter from Colorado sign up for my service. Because he saw the show, we went on the website, checked it out, signed up, just like that. And Atul says brokers use them.
Brokers use them.
Brokers worth every penny because you handle everything from A to Z.
That's the way it should be, right? So this is where it gets even more crazy on the Thursday show. I'm going to just keep pumping the Thursday show because it really illustrates the absurdity and insanity that happens behind the scenes that nobody knows about. But this is what a carrier, transport guy, today's world, this is what they do. And somehow I have no idea, but it just blows my mind. So then on Friday, I show up at noon. I'm standing in the transport parking lot. There's trucks and cars and hydraulic fluid and oil and crazy, right? This is what I like. Because I've got the relationship. I've got the customer. I know the auction. I know everybody in the transport parking lot. I do. And it's crazy. right? To me, that's safe. I like that. I can work with that. I have a hard time just getting on a load board, paying $150 a month to maybe get a good load, maybe not get a good load, and definitely no relationship, because you're not coming back. That guy that screwed you, you're never going to see him again, are you?
Ever.
Ever. And you'll never use him if you did. But the point being, back to the load board, back to auctions, back to cars. Okay. Things have changed this year dramatically. Some people agree, some people don't agree. It doesn't
This
matter.
year, as in 21, changed?
I'm sorry, last year.
Last year, okay.
Things have changed a lot. So what Jay and I are seeing by coming on your show, by having you on Jay's show, by talking to guys like Tim, guys like Paul Machine, Black Book, talking to Auto IMS, auction people, having them on the show, getting to hear them and talk to them. What we think we are going to see in 2021 for the transportation guys, for sure, is what we're calling the hybrid, right? We're going to see a hybrid. You're going to see guys like Ty out there that have those relationships, that service that dealer, do a good job. But then you're going to also have this technology monster, right? This technology monster that's, you have to have a load board. You have to have what we call a TMS, right? That's how we manage our loads. That's how we know what we're doing. That's how we bill the dealer. You're going to have these things. You can't do it.
Is that TMS, Transportation Management System?
Yeah. Yeah. How to manage your, so I got 9 cars from Paul. I picked them up at Kansas City, Manheim. I'm taking them back to Paul and Joplin. I know the VIN. I know. So now technology is starting to catch up. See, transportation guys have been in the dark for a long time. And that's what the beautiful thing is about Jay's show, Auto Transport Intel. We're trying to get all the different.
Mark it go on YouTube, Auto Transport Intel, and mark it, or subscribe to the channel and click notifications.
Yeah, do that. That's the easier way, because it'll notify you when like 30 minutes Jay's good.
Every time.
Yeah. So go to there, check it out, and you're going to start seeing what Jay and I are seeing. What Jay's built is the ability to be transparent, to have these conversations. Nobody wants to talk about how the transport guy sucks, but everybody has dealt with the sucky transport guy, right? If you haven't dealt with the sucky transport guy, it's probably because you've got
you haven't done enough business.
What?
You haven't done enough business if you haven't met one.
And that too. And so this is where, to me, it gets a little spooky back to this load board business. Because if we're going to be, I don't want to say forced, but if we're put in a position where we don't go to the auction like we used to, and we have to buy online, and we have a couple of cars and we buy cars in places we don't go, how fast are you going to get it home? Who do you know?
But Micah Larkin says, isn't there a town called Springfield in every state? How many states over did you mistakenly deliver your load to, Ty?
Well, whenever you're the guy that's in charge of 20 trucks and 1,000, 1,500 cars a week, sometimes you make a couple mistakes. But
ouch.
Yeah, Springfield, Missouri. Now, I did a tremendous amount of business in Fayetteville, Bentonville area. That was actually probably 80% of our revenue was in Northwest Arkansas, home of Walmart, right? So incredible people down there, which, by the way, you guys have heard of JB Hunt Trucking.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Brian Hunt, I wouldn't say definitely best friend, but Brian and I talk, got his phone number, can give him a call. The cool story, this guy's just amazing. So his dad started JB Hunt Trucking. So this is his son, Brian. Brian owned several dealerships at the time. Brian starts kind of having some issues with a particular auction. Name brand, I won't say the name. Goes in as Brian, but doesn't disclose who he is. Said, hey, we got a little problem here. This doesn't seem to be working. It's not mutually beneficial. Basically, go away, right? And
big mistake.
Big mistake. So Brian opens up an auction called 71B in Springdale, Arkansas. If you guys haven't been to Springdale, Arkansas, and check this auction out, you should. They run anywhere between 600 and 1,000 cars every week. They've got incredible dealerships down there, incredible people down there. But anyway, Brian, I get to meet Brian. I'm so excited. And I get to move cars for the auction, right? So where I'm going with this story is that I see great opportunity for the independent auctions for 2021. Okay. What's an independent auction? It's not Mannheim. It's not Odessa. Well, what about America's? You guys heard of America's Auto Auction? They're getting big and they're growing, but at this time, they're still allow what I call autonomy, right? They allow the manager to make deals, to do the way he wants to do business, and they're open. Yep. Okay. So Mannheim, Odessa, America's, and then independent. Now you've got McConkey up in Washington. They're a group. They've got several, but for the most part, if you're an independent auction, if you open the doors and you let the dealers come in, 2021 is going to be a bang up year for you. That's my prediction. Okay. And I love auctions, and I know a lot of auction people. If you're going to close the doors, I don't know how that's going to work out. We'll see. But, and I don't want to make any weird predictions or anything. I'm just saying, guys, I'm in Kansas City. It used to be KCI, independent auction, recently purchased by America's Auto Auction. I'm going there pretty much every Thursday, and I'm starting to see guys that I've never seen at this auction. I've seen them at other auctions down the road. And I'm like, what are you doing here? I can't buy any cars. Yeah, you can buy them online. No, I got to see the cars I buy. I know the guy. So I'm like, yeah, the cars you buy, you need to see them. You need to hear them, touch it. Well, you can go to the auction and look at them the day before the auction and then go to the auction the next day and stand there and look at a screen and buy them. What are you doing that for? That just wastes 2 days. It used to only take one of your days. Now it takes two.
Right. So, nobody's got that kind of time.
Yeah, nobody's got that kind of time. And anyway, I can keep talking and yapping, but auctions are amazing. Dealers are more amazing. You have to have, I don't know that you have to have. You guys have heard of ACV, right? We've had ACV on Joe. Yeah. You know Joe? I always forget his last name, but Joe, he's one of the founders of ACV, or the founder. Jay had him on the show. The coolest dude I've ever met. He and I are complete opposites on this. I mean, I don't like it whenever ACV comes and the dealer decides to leave his 30 cars that Ty would normally pick up and take to the auction, right? We're just going to leave them here, Ty. We're going to sell them on the backlot. Backlot cars. You guys heard of that?
Oh, yeah. It's happening more and more.
Yeah. Well, again, it's not new. They've been doing this for a long time. I don't know. It's become a new thing. Branding, marketing, new idea. Great. And here's the thing. I totally get it. It makes perfect sense.
They keep more of the money.
They keep more of the money, the dealer does, and you don't have to deal with this guy. Right?
Yeah, that's not a bad guy to deal with. Come on.
Well, think about it. Ty, I got 30 cars. I need them to the auction on Tuesday before noon. Yeah, no problem. Tuesday rolls around. Ty's driver got sick. Something happened. Auction's calling me. Where are those cars? They were supposed to be here at noon. Dealer's calling me. Where are those cars? Why aren't you here? Right? Well, now we can eliminate that. And Joe's right. ACV, backlot cars, they're right. You can wipe that dude out quick. And there are enough dealers that have had to deal with that problem that have decided, I don't want to deal with that problem anymore. I'll just leave them here. Okay, that's a good call. Good move. I'll even support, I'll back it up. Here's where it goes bad. So the Mr. Dealer, he dodged the bullet of Ty and auction. Okay, once Ty gets into the auction, then they lose him at the auction. That's
man.
Or we get it to the auction and we damaged it on the way. Go ahead.
And that's not on the condition report.
Yeah. Well, I always end up eating those. Somehow they find out I did that one. But anyway, that's the other thing. I always call my dealer, man, I just smashed 4 of your cars. Oh, fuck, Ty. Yeah, I want to let you know. Okay, well, get them on down. That kind of communication, even in problems, trouble, right?
But they trust you. There's a trust factor.
Yeah, so all my drivers, we have meeting every Monday. Look, all we want is the truth here. If you do it, just tell me. That way I can make it right with the dealer. I won't fire you if you're honest. If I catch you lying, you're gone. Okay.
You could lose that account in one incident.
Oh,
one incident.
Yeah.
You work years to get it and you lose it in one incident.
Yeah. So where we're going here is I'm talking about this load board that, right? This central dispatch, these loads, things are changing. We don't know where it's going. I'm kind of in some new territory in my life where I'm sitting here, I'm thinking, okay, this is interesting. Where are dealers getting their cars now? Okay. So as they buy the cars, maybe that buying experience isn't what it used to be. Oh, I'm sorry. I left off with the backlot cars ACV. Where the problem is, I don't know if I'm making any sense, but back to ACV backlot cars. The way it used to work, remember the Roper, GMC, Kia, Honda, those guys I'm talking about? Okay, they would pack them all in the back of the lot. Ty would go take them to the auction. I would drop them off at the auction, tell my driver, wait there. He's going to be there tomorrow. He's going to buy another 30 cars. Yeah. So he waits. Sure enough, Randy buys another 30 cars. We just took 30 up and we're going to take 30 back. Ty's dollar per mile is really good. Not anymore because ACV backlot cars cut it in. So the questions I have, right? Well, did the car really bring more money in the backlot, the ACV, than it did at the physical auction where you've got 30 guys bidding on it? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. I'm not there. I can't say.
Right.
Somebody let me know. Okay, no problem. It brought more sitting on the backlot because ACV technology is better. All right, cool. So of those 30 cars, how many go to dealers? Well, all 30 of them. Okay, well, how many dealers bought more than one car? Raise your hand. So now you got 30 cars on Randy's back lot that were sold to 30 different dealers that are out of town. How long is Randy going to let those cars sit there before Randy starts having a meltdown? Because Randy keeps his parking lot immaculate, right? So I don't know. I haven't done this, but I'm guessing moving one car takes a while. Sorry, go ahead.
This is why I love to bring you on, because these are things that nobody at the dealer level thinks about unless you're in there stuck with those 30 cars on your lot. But the average guy that's in the business doesn't even, it's not, you know, that old saying, you don't know what you don't know. Guys don't know this kind of stuff. You know, I always thought that, hey, if a dealer's doing it on his own lot, it's got to be really good. But never once am I even thinking about, yeah, you know what? I'm sure a hauler would rather move 9 cars than 1. So how quickly are you going to get that car? So now you got all these cars sitting there. Yeah, that's fascinating. There's so much to this car hauling stuff, way beyond what meets the eye. It's really cool. We got a couple of comments. Atul, so we missed earlier. Let's see here. Michael Lana said, Happy New Year, everyone. Happy New Year to everyone. This year is going to kick butt. I promise you that. And let's see here. Atul said, when I worked dealer trades years ago, I used to broker. They would quote me the price and I would pay them after it's all done. Occasionally the drivers would try and call ahead and tell me that I need to pay them because the broker was making money in between. And then he says, Mannheim. So I let that question go a little further. I should have dashed it right away, so I don't remember what that Mannheim comment was about. And let's see, Ty connects dealers and carriers on Fridays at noon on Cars on the Move. Paul Machine is on. Says,
Hey,
hi, Ty and Paul. Great content. He said, it says Grays, but I know that's a spell check that likes to change words after you hit send. And Jay says, the year of the hybrid. Mark Williamson. Woo. Info overload. I'm 1010 on the side. Atul says 34 U.S. states have a town named Springfield. Wow, 34 states have a town called Springfield.
Yeah. Well, it might have been Springfield, but I know wherever I messed up the load, it wasn't too far. But I think Atul is trying to make a comment about brokers. So I want to talk about brokers in our world, right?
Yeah.
So if you're a dealer and you don't have that relationship with a guy like Ty, you're going to maybe get a hold of a broker. Now, I'm talking about a dealer, okay? And this is where I think it starts falling apart. Because if I'm a dealer, okay, so I always get so excited. I always tell everybody, here's the thing. Dealers do the same thing every day, every week, every month, and every year. And the next year, guess what they do? They try to beat it every day, every week, every month, every year. Okay. I call that residual income. And nobody in transportation, especially car hauling that I've ever talked to, talks about residual income. How do you get residual income in the car hauling world, Ty? Well, you service that guy, that dealer who does the same thing every day, every week, every month, every year, and he tries to beat it next year, right? So 2021, everybody's goal in the car dealer world is to beat every day, every week, every month, every year. Now, if you're a carrier and you're paying attention to this kind of stuff, right? See, I know my dealers. I know Randy's going to go every other week. I know Jim only goes once a month. If I don't see Jim once a month, I'm calling Jim. Jim, where are you? I mean, 425 car dealers were my customers, my clients. I know them real well. I know where they go. I know when they go. And if I don't see them, I'm calling them. Okay. Residual income, residual income. So it can still work today. It's just different. It's changing. And I don't know how, and I don't know where, and I'm trying to figure it out. And that's where
Technology.
Technology. And this is where it's fun because I can talk to a guy like Paul. I can talk to a guy like Jason. You know, Jason over there, Jason Harris. I've been on his show, man. Talk about exciting. So anyway, talking to these different carrier or dealers to find out if I'm a carrier, how am I going to survive? I don't know the answer until I talk to the dealer. That's my logic. If I'm wrong, tell me. I want to know because I don't know all the answers. So back to the broker part. The broker is dangerous in my opinion. The broker does not have an asset. What's an asset in transportation? An asset is a truck and a trailer. So if I'm a broker and I don't have an asset, a truck and a trailer, and you give me a car, how am I going to move it? I'm going to count on somebody I don't know to keep my name and my reputation good, right? That's why I'm very selective as to whose cars I move and when and where and how I move them, because my name is more important to me than making money. Okay.
Right.
So if you're a dealer and you don't have an established relationship with a carrier or a broker, so who's a broker? Have you guys heard of RPM? Have you guys heard of United Road? Have you guys heard of Virginia Transport, Brothers Transport? There are brokers everywhere. Now, there are brokers that have assets, trucks and trailers, and there are brokers that don't. If you talk to a broker that doesn't, you might want to be careful, right? Because if things get in a jam, as a broker, I was a broker. I was a broker, a carrier, and a dealer. And I only got, this is a fun story. I only got my dealership license so I could get in and out of an auction without the cop giving me flack. Right. So I paid the money, I did everything. I'm not a car dealer. I'm not a good car sales guy. A little too honest. But anyway, the getting in and out of these auctions was real important to me. So if you're going to deal with a broker and you're going to give him your cars, does he have any trucks? Because if he gets in a jam and you're important to him and he has his own trucks, he will lose. Yeah, I've lost a lot of money over the years to go get that one car just to keep that one customer happy, right?
Let me tell you about relationships.
Yeah.
Years ago, when I was in a store, I had my network of transport that I did business with, right? Because I shipped cars all over the country. California, Arizona, Colorado. Colorado is a little tricky. But I would ship cars all over, and I had a network of transporters that I did business with on a somewhat regular basis. And I went skiing. It was New Year's years ago, and I ended up tearing the ligaments in my knee. I was in a big straight leg brace, and the car decides to break down in Massachusetts on the way home. I called this guy up. He's a transporter out of Rhode Island. This guy said, "No problem. Where are you? I'll come get you." This guy came out of nowhere, picked the car up. I rode with him. got me back to Connecticut, no problem. And price-wise, more than reasonable.
Yeah.
More than reasonable. So yeah, so to your point of the relationship with the transport, it's critical that you have that, because you're going to be in that jam where, as you say, sometimes you lose money, but that person remembers it and will give you all their business.
Oh, I mean, and again, that's why I love the dealer. Okay. The dealer has been more than kind, more than generous to me over the 20 years. I mean, I call dealers my friends, right? I mean, these are guys you talk to on a daily basis, a weekly basis. You know their wife, you know their kids, you know their dog, cat, and where they live, and what car they drive, and what they did last weekend. I mean, these are my customers that I know, that I respect, right? And that's where it gets really exciting for me, is because, okay, if we're not going to have that anymore, I don't know why we wouldn't, but let's just say we're not going to have that anymore. How are we going to make these relationships? What are we going to do? So as a coach, as a trainer, as a consultant, as a transport guy, if you've got a problem talking to a carrier, here's what we do. I send them to Paul. Go talk to Paul, get set up. Paul's part of ATI's network now. Paul may not know it, but since this is the first show, or the first of the year, and I'm on it, Paul, I just wanted to welcome you. You're a huge part of ATI. Thank you.
Thank you.
Because we will be referring more people to you for your dealervendormatch.com. And that's really a big thing. And I'm really excited to see where it goes too. So now Ty's a little trickster, because Ty's watched dealers, and Ty doesn't know dealer stuff, but Ty does know the game. Okay. I know the game. So if I'm a carrier and I don't want to talk to you, or you don't want to talk to me, let's go talk to Paul. There's your first shot. Second shot is what, back to this load board that we keep yapping about. If you live in Joplin, Missouri, and you're afraid to talk to a car dealer, and you don't have enough money to get on dealervendormatch.com, here's an idea. Only get a car that comes back to Joplin, Missouri. Why? Guess who wants to talk to you now? The dealer. Why does he want to talk to you? Because you have his car. So brush your teeth, comb your hair, get the grease off your shirt. When you show up early. Here's your car. Thank you very much. My name's Ty. I actually live here in this town. We may know some of the same people. And I'm a transport guy. And I haul cars from here to here all the time, every day, every week, every month, every year. Would you like to do business? Now you've got the ability to have a conversation. So just little bitty things like that. How to take technology, which is not my favorite, and how to turn it into a relationship. Am I selling anything? No. Do I like technology? I'll be the first to say not really. But we can use it. We can make it work, right? Because it's important to the carrier, as equally as important to the carrier as the dealer, that we're dealing with people that have some kind of moral compass, some kind of business ethic, some kind of integrity. That's really important.
Gotta have it.
Right. So this credentialing system that we're talking about, that nobody talks about, is how do we get these carriers? And this is what Jay said it in the comments, and Jay's right. And this is where you'll see me all the hair will start going back up on my neck, because this happens every week, Paul. We connect dealers, auctions, and carriers. And we get an email. This guy's taking a picture of his truck and trailer, and he's saying, thank you so much, guys, for the guy that was on your show 2 weeks ago, Robbie at LMR. That guy,
I've seen him on your show. I've seen those in the messages, in the live chat.
That guy connected with Robbie, and that guy's moving cars for Robbie. Robbie needed another truck and trailer, at least one, right?
Yeah.
Robbie got one. The guy that I always pronounce his name wrong, so forgive me, but I think it's Ariel. He needed to move cars to make sure he could make his insurance premium $2,000 to $4,000 a month, right? So they connect. They're happy. They're making money. Cars are being moved. That's what we do here at Auto Transport Intel. We connect these guys. So if there's a dealer, if there's a service guy, if there's anybody out here that's like, I don't know what in the hell you're talking about, Ty, can we Yeah.
Connect to Ty and have a conversation with him. That's what I recommend.
Yeah, we'll definitely talk about it. I don't have the answers. I may know some things, but as a dealer, here's what I've always said to dealers. I mean, lots of late night calls with car dealers. I want to know if you go off what I call out of the lane, you're going to start buying cars in different states. Okay. I always want to know, let's do the numbers. You bought the car for X. How many days did it take you to get it home? How much do you pay for interest? How much did you pack? Right? Do you guys still use that word pack?
Sadly, yes.
Okay. So as I talk to car dealers, here's what I figured out. They don't know what they spend in transportation. They pack it. There's not, I mean, and okay, I'm sure I'm wrong. I'm sure there are plenty of dealers out there. I know exactly.
A lot of them know what they spend, but they still pack it on top of that.
Yeah. So I guess where I'm going with this is okay, if you're a dealership and you're fixed ops and you're wanting to be a profit center, why don't you become a broker? Why don't you get a truck and trailer? I can show you how. And I can show you how to make a butt ton of money by being a broker. I mean, if you're a new used car store, the number one there that my 5 category, you're the 1, 2, and you're selling 200 used cars a month. Why don't we talk about becoming a broker? I can show you how to make some money. I can show you how to make some money with a truck and trailer than a driver. I really can, and it really works. And it's now becomes a profit center, right? Oh, Ty, you're full of crap. Oh, really? What's Carvana doing? What's CarMax doing? How many trucks and trailers?
Doing it over 20 years.
How many trucks and trailers do they own?
A lot.
Yeah. How many does Carvana own?
I don't know. But they're number 8 on the list, so I would imagine it's a lot.
Okay. When I say trucks and trailers, right? Okay. I'm talking from a 1 flatbed that can maybe haul 2 up to what we call the Stinger that can haul 9 and anything in the middle. Okay. And again, I mean, I'm like, okay, guys, it's real simple. They have this for a reason. There's a reason they have it. It's because it's very important that they get their stuff.
And each one has a specific purpose, a specific distance.
And if you get into the back room and you start looking at this, they're doing exactly what we're talking about. Okay, who's in charge of buying cars here? Raise your hand. All right, I need to know where you're buying your cars. Do you buy them there every day, every week, every month, every year? Well, where else do you go? Well, I go over here. Okay. Where else do you go? Well, I got a wholesaler buddy. He sends me 5 or 6 a week. He just drops them off. Okay. Where else do you go? So as we start looking at where the inventory is coming from, right, now we can start developing either lanes, relationships, buying equipment. I mean,
your transportation strategy.
Yeah. And I can assure you there are carriers that are in that lane that you don't know, and we can connect. And they want your business.
Let me get to a couple of comments here. Jay, relationships and technology working together. Yep, absolutely. Every day more so than ever. Jay says, what? Transport guys suck? No soup for you.
He hates it when I say that.
Paul Machine, like Winnie the Pooh, sniff out the honeypots, then build relationship, then nurture them consistently. Great relationships will always pay more in dividends in the long run. And Paul Machine says, Paul Meyer is an awesome partner. Thanks, Paul. Love you, man. Paul Machine says, hey, DJ. And Paul Machine also says technology equals high tech and high touch. It doesn't work without high touch. Atul says, hey, Paul. And Michael Larkin says, Ty could consult these dealers to develop their lanes so they can hire the carriers that travel those lanes. Ty, we have got to each other about residuals. Very excited. So connect with Michael Larkin and Ty Thompson. Connect.
Find me on. I'm on using my phone, so maybe either put my.
Well, and you'll see in the comments. I think it's easier on a PC when you're on the computer. to see
Okay.
the comments, because if you're on the phone, then it's in real time. So when you click on the comment, then it takes you right to the video. Whereas if you do it on the computer, then you can see and you could respond to individual comments. So I would say put all your contact info. Jay, you also please put your email and contact info right in the chat there. That way people can connect with you guys. And we are way over time.
Oh, shoot. Okay. Well, thanks for
Way
having
over
me.
time. But I am so happy I just let it go overtime because there's so much to cover. There's even so much more that we haven't even covered yet. But I figure what better way to kick off the new season than you tonight right here on Sunday Night Live. So I want to thank you, Ty, very much.
Yeah.
When I feel safe enough to travel, I'm coming to Kansas City and I'm going to the auction with you, brother.
Boy, we'll bang them up. I know the auction real well. So we'll have a good time. I can promise you that. Hey, thanks again,
sure.
Paul. It really does mean a lot. And thank you, everybody in the audience. So good to hear and see from you. The support's incredible, and we really appreciate all you guys do. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a great week coming up, everybody. And be safe out there, and Happy New Year. This is the year where it's all going to happen. All right, thanks again. We'll see you next week on Sunday Night Live.
Thanks. Bye.